guys, my name is Terry. Hey, thanks so much for checking out my channel, Home Again. Well, today I am in a cookie baking, candy making frenzy. And I think I'm gonna make a series out of it. So I better stop talking and get baking. So why don't you join me? Okay, we are going to make some chewy chocolate mint cookies. And they are delicious. And this is some of the ingredients you're gonna need. I will put the recipe up on the screen, but you're gonna need flour, a little bit of powdered sugar, a couple eggs, some regular sugar, a cup of butter, a cup of chocolate chips or more, baking soda, baking powder, salt, cocoa, and peppermint or mint extract. Pretty sure that's everything you're gonna need. Like I said, I will post the recipe up on the screen. Okay, here we go. In our big bowl, we are going to put our cup of butter, which is 2 sticks. It's supposed to be softened. Mine wasn't real soft, so you can try to soften it in a little microwave, but don't overdo it. But I just kind of smush it like this. I had it out for a little while, but not quite long enough to be totally soft. So it's softer now. So I have my 1 cup of butter in the bowl. And with that, I'm going to put in my 1 3/4 cup of sugar. And we're gonna blend that up. There we go. And to that, we are going to add our 2 eggs. We're going to blend some more. We're also going to add our peppermint extract. Sorry about that. Really important if you want mint cookies. Boy, does that smell minty. I can't help it, I'm gonna taste it. I know I'm not supposed to, you can all yell at me. Yep, that's pretty minty. Now we are going to, I put my flour, cocoa, baking soda, salt, and baking powder all together because they're supposed to gradually add this into the butter sugar mixture. When I mentioned putting the sugar in, do not put the powder sugar in, only the granulated sugar. The powder sugar is only to roll the cookies in before we put them on the baking sheet. So it's just decorative. The granulated sugar is what you want to use in the recipe. So I just kind of mix this together. You don't have to. I just figured it'd be easier to gradually add it if it was all in one bowl. So I just kind of stir that up with a fork a little bit. And we're going to just put a little bit in at a time. Oh, my poor little mixer. The stuff I have put her through. She's wanting to give up the ghost on me, but I can't let her yet. That is a Black & Decker mixer, and I can't even tell you how many decades I've owned it and what I've put it through. Who would have thought? Black & Decker not only made tools, but mixers. And a pretty good one for what little you pay for them. At least back then it was. I don't know if they're still making good ones. Gotta give credit where credit's due though. She's been faithful. Okay, I need a stiffer. This is a very stiff dough. So if you have a little mixer like me, it's gonna give it a workout. Or then you just get in there and get a good old wooden spoon. Or you have a fancy self-standing mixer. That would be great. I just use this. Keeps my biceps going. Now we're gonna stir in our chocolate chips. Like my counter. I have dough flying everywhere, trying to get it off my mixers. What's neat about this is you have kind of the sharpness of the mint, and then the chocolate chips add the sweetness, so they kind of balance each other. It's so good. I'm telling you about a cup of chocolate chips, but you know what? I'm not gonna tell if you use more, so you don't tell if I use more too. I doubt if I've ever really used just a cup of chocolate chips in anything, but maybe. Maybe I'll be good today and try just that. Or not. Don't tell. This needs a few more, right? Hopefully I won't regret that. Yeah, it's a stiff dough because you're going to roll it into balls. And you know what? It doesn't say to chill it. I've never been told to chill this, but I think I'm gonna, because this is pretty messy right now. And if you try to take that, well, you know what? It's not so bad, is it? I know there can be comments about this. I raised 3 boys, and you don't need to tell me the kind of ideas boys get when they see you roll chocolate batter into balls. Yeah. It may look disgusting, but they taste delicious. Don't judge a book by its cover, don't judge a cookie by its, you know, batter. So, okay, got that mixed up good. Now, we're gonna roll them into balls and put them on a cookie sheet with parchment paper. I washed my hands, of course, before I started this whole process, and I just washed them again. Because now we're gonna get dirty here. We're gonna take these about, what is that, a couple inch size, and we're gonna roll it into like 2 inches. And then we're gonna drop them in this flour sugar. We're gonna roll them around. Get them just lightly coated with the powdered sugar. And put them back here. Push them down a little bit so they hopefully cook more evenly. And I have learned and reminded myself just recently that when I bake cookies, I should start out with a small batch, like 6, like half a dozen, because sometimes it takes your first batch to figure out, take a little of that back, if you have your temperature right, you know, how your oven's cooking them, all sorts of things. So you don't end up burning them or undercooking them. My first batch is always kind of a test to see how long I think they really need to bake. So I'm only gonna put about 6 on this cookie sheet. I use parchment paper. My baking sheets are old and nasty looking just because they've been used. And I just love parchment paper. Like I said on my other videos, it's been a game changer. for me. I love it. You get done, you throw away the paper and rinse off the sheet if you even have to, and you're done. But you don't have to have parchment paper. I mean, I'm sure you could just put these on a sheet sprayed with cooking spray. I probably did years ago. I don't remember. I've made these for decades, but I only make them usually about once a year, which is kind of sad. Sad and good. So I kind of forget as a year goes by exactly how I did everything. And believe me, if you got little ones, they'll love to help you do this job. It'll be fun. Messy and fun. I wish I had some little ones right now to help me. Mine are all grown up. Yeah, I'm surprised. I thought I was gonna have to refrigerate this because I couldn't remember from one year to the next if I do. But not looking that way. They're rolling really nice. Not really sticky at all. Okay, we're gonna put them in a 350 oven for about 9 minutes and we'll see what we come up with. Your kids would love to help you with this part. You might not love for them to, but they would love to. Now I'm gonna experiment with this tray. I was doing this tray up while the other ones were baking. So with this tray, I'm gonna experiment a little. And I'm gonna flatten some of them a little so they cook more evenly. And I'm gonna leave these ones rounded. And I can't remember, in the past they had a better like crackle look with the powdered sugar. I'll show you what the first batch. The first batch turned out like this. They're not looking as pretty as I remember. I don't know if I didn't put enough powdered sugar on there or if it's because I flattened them a little. But you don't have to put the powdered sugar on either. I'll fit another one on here without any powdered sugar and I'll show you what they look like without them. Look at that. So good. With a glass of cold milk, and they're still very hot. I'm burning my fingers right now. So as they dry, I'm leaving them on the cookie sheet to firm up even a little more, and we'll check them again in a few minutes. I'm letting them kind of continue to bake on the cookie sheet. I don't like an overly dry cookie or burnt, but I don't like them raw tasting either. So we gotta find that perfect time span here in the oven. Just gonna try this batch. Leave most of them undusted with the powdered sugar and just smushed them down just a little bit. So they're about this thickness. They're still real thick, but I just kind of flattened the top edge. And then these I dusted really heavily with the powdered sugar. I'm thinking maybe I was too stingy on these. That's why it doesn't show much. Because generally as the cookie bakes and cracks, it has mostly like the white dusted top, and as it bakes and cracks, it has the dark crack lines, and it's really kind of pretty. But those are kind of like you can't really understand what's going on. So I think maybe I was too stingy with my powdered sugar, but we'll see. We'll try with these, and if not, no life lost. You can just make them without powdered sugar or just make them this way. Regardless, they taste delicious. I know because I've been tasting them. There we go. I think that was the problem. I think I wasn't being generous enough with the powdered sugar. So I really doused them. So if you want them to have this little crackle look effect with the powdered sugar on top, and I'll give you a closer view of that when they cool down. I don't want to put them in my hand right now. I'm gonna let them set on the tray a little longer, and cook a little longer, and then I'll show you a close-up of them. So we did some plain with no powdered sugar, and some rolled really heavily in the powdered sugar. Your choice. Okay, this is the last batch going in. I left them rounded and I doused them heavily with the powdered sugar. We'll see how those come out. Okay, so you get to learn through my trial and error. This is the last batch. I left them rounded, I didn't flatten them at all, and I really doused them with the powdered sugar. So if you like that look, I say we call them snow-topped chewy chocolate mint cookies. And I'm not gonna make you watch me eat them, but they are very good. I wouldn't lie to you. They're chewy and soft and minty and and they're delicious. So if you like mint and chocolate, these are the cookies to give a try. See that? So good. I hope the camera's not blurring it. Whoops, dropped part of it. So good.